Today we're going to talk about laying flex track on a model railroad. This is the next step up for many model railroaders from the sectional track that most of us get started with, building those small 4x8 layouts and that kind of thing. The beauty of flex track is that you can bend it any which way you want to, and so you're not restricted to the curve sizes that come with sectional track. Now if we look at this flex track, this is HO flex track made by Atlas Model Railroad Company, very typical of what's out there. We can see that on one side, the bottom side here of the tie strip, the plastic is cast in a solid piece. If we look at the top, we can see that there are spaces between every second tie. Generally, we want to make the rail joints in the flexible track on a straight section. It's just a lot easier to do. It also makes a better connection. You want as few joints as possible in the curve because each joint introduces the opportunity for a derailment or a little kink or a little bit of a problem. And we'll just run a small bead down the middle right along the center line for the cork road bed. We don't need very much, and in fact we don't want to have too much because you don't want the adhesive to work up between the ties. Well, there's nothing to this. We're going to lay this piece on this curved section. Let's look at what we have so far. You can see that the rail here is sticking out about 1/4 inch further than the other rail. To fix this problem, we'll use a pair of rail nippers. This is a very important tool for model railroaders. If you're going to be laying much track at all, that you have yourself a good pair of rail nippers. They're a very good investment. Once you bought them, use them only to cut rail. Don't use them to be cutting other things. All right. Anytime you want to cut rail, get the plastic out of the way first so that you just making a clean cut on the rail. In order to be able to slide our rail joiner on here, we need to get rid of a couple of these ties. And the way I do that is to take an X-Acto knife, cut up through the bottom of the tie strip like this, and then we'll just take a hold of these last two ties and pull them off. This rail slid a little bit on us, so we'll just have to shove it back. And we want to take a small file, and we'll just dress these cut edges a little bit. The bottom part's called the base. We want to file that along that surface, along the other surface, top of the base, so that we won't have any problem sliding the rail joiner on. There, now we have finished dressing the end of that rail, and we're ready to slip on a rail joiner so that we can attach the next piece of rail. Well, now we're ready to do the adjoining piece of track. We'll need to put down some of our adhesive again. If we've got our adhesive in place, we'll get these started, get the ends started in the rail joiners, and then we'll take our pliers, and we don't want to grip the joiner itself. We want to grip outside of it and use the pliers as a tool to shove the joiners on. So those are the basics of working with flexible track. Remember, flexible track allows you to build curves in any radius that you want, gives you fewer rail joints. Fewer rail joints means fewer derailments. I hope you'll enjoy working with flexible track, and I know it can help you build a better layout.